Your health is your wealth. So what if this scenario, I want you to think about it. What if when you were born, you were told that if you maintain your health by the time that you're 40 years old, that you will receive $1 million. So as a baby, of course, you're not going to notice any changes until you get into your teenage years. And maybe your parents are going to help you along the way to support you so that you maintain your health. So what would your life look like? So you would start to think about what food you put into your body, the amount of sleep that you got in your body. You would think about any intoxicants like smoking or drinking, alcohol, all of these sorts of things. You might even start to think about, who am I going to surround myself by? What are my friends going to be like? Because I need to keep my body in good shape till 40 so that I get the $1 million. So you might think that, hey, I don't want to go out, riding motorcycles recklessly. I don't want to go out and do crazy stunts. I want to think of all the ways that I can sustain my health. And then you might begin to think, well, how else can I keep my body strong? You might actually start to research it, and you might start to look and say, wow, what is the best way to keep my body healthy? Because I really want that $1 million when I'm 40 years old. And so you're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of effort into it, because this is your most valuable resource. This is your body. And then you get to 40 years old, and what happens? So how do we define health? So how do they say what healthy is? How do they say if you're going to get the $1 million or not? Well, maybe they just look at the fundamental pillars. They look at your body, your level of happiness. They look at the condition of your skin. They look at your sleep. They look at if you're on any medications. They look at your gut and your bowel status, how many times you're pooping every day. If you're a woman, they look at your menstrual periods to say if they're regular, and then you would qualify for your $1 million. So think about it. $1 million at the age of 40 years old. Would you get it? Would you be able to receive it? Well, guess what? We're not born. No one is giving us $1 million. But if you ask anybody with a health condition, they would say that they would trade their health any day for $1 million. Because there is nothing that you can buy that's going to absolutely replace your health. So then, why aren't we living this way? What is going on with us? Well, let's think about it a little bit. Where are we focusing our attention? So I've tried to think about how we care for other things in our life. And many of you might be out there, and maybe you have your grandmother's favorite dishes that you have stored away. Maybe you have an antique car that's in your garage. Maybe you have a beautiful glass that you picked up on a holiday. Maybe you have a painting that you purchased while you were away. Maybe you have an amazing bottle of wine. What are you going to do with all of those things? You're going to handle them with baby steps. Some of them, you might bring them out for display only certain times of the year. But when they're in storage, you're going to make sure that they're put away gently. You might even get storage that has humidity control, because you know how important those things are. If it's your car, you're going to have it in the garage. You might even put a blanket over it so no dust gets on top of it. So think about it. Do you have an item in your life now? Something that you're really holding on to? And if you do, that's great. But I want you to start to think about, what am I doing for this item that I have that I'm not doing for my own body? Because many times what I see with health is we're always looking outside ourselves to create health. We don't value our bodies enough to say, wow, this is the most important thing in my life that I want to take care of. And I want you to think about having this switch in your perception of what is most important to you. Is it really that car that's in your garage? Is it that, BMW that you've been saving up to get? Or is it the health of your body? Because a study was released just this past week, and it showed that the rate of Alzheimer's is increasing, and that by 2025, over 40% of people after the age of 55 may be diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Wow, is that not incredible? over 1 in 2 after the age of 55. We need to do something about this now, because we may in our younger years, we may not really be paying much attention to our body. And I think that's the phase of life. It's really hard to tell a 15-year-old how to take care of their bodies. But if you're the mom and dad, you are the one that can lead by example, because you have a little bit more of that wisdom, and that wisdom is going to be passed on to your children. Or maybe if you are now in your 30s or 40s and you're beginning to think about, I'm pursuing this job, I want this career, I want this position to have in my life. And then you're beginning to think, but I'm stressed out, I'm getting heartburn, my skin is breaking out, I'm getting migraine headaches. This is a time to say, hey, where am I focusing my resources? Is it outside getting that job, getting that promotion, and getting that money? Or is it within keeping my body healthy? So we know that in life, yes, in our modern society, there's a certain amount of money that's needed, right? To keep us all going. But also, there's ways in our life that we really can simplify and hone in if we really think about where our focus is at. I've had to do that through the years. I'm 53. I've moved countries. I've moved houses. I've downsized. I've lived in tiny little cottages. I've lived in my little spot in the country with very basic services. And as I move all those times, I began to reflect and think, hey, what is it that's most important to me? All these things that I collect as I move from place to place, what is most important? And now I have a few little relics that I take with me from place to place, but I know that the most important thing is that I feel good every day. And it didn't matter where I lived in the world. It didn't matter what job that I have. It was about me feeling good in my body and in my soul, because nothing can take that away from us. So I want you to think about that. Where are you in your life now? And I know a lot of you that are watching are probably in your 40s or 50s or more. And this is a time to really start taking our health more seriously. Because just like in that example I used, I said if you stay healthy up till 40, well, guess what? A lot of people do, because the body is resilient, and the body amazes me all the time. The power that we have inside our bodies to get over things. We can be reckless when we're young. We can eat the bad things. We can stay up late all night. We can drink. We can have hangovers, and we recover from it. But after 40, all of those things began to kick in. So I want you to think about, how can you start to switch now? Because with those statistics saying that, yes, Alzheimer's, these diseases are on the rise. We know that diabetes, we know cancers, all of these things are on the rise. But we don't need to be afraid of it. So we know that with lifestyle interventions early on, that we can ward off of these things. And even if you have been diagnosed with a memory condition, some of my colleagues are getting amazing results with reversing dementia in the early stages. But I want you to think about prevention. And this is what life and medicine and health should really be about. It's, how do I feel good today? What are the steps that I need to do? These fundamentals that I need to get in order so that I feel better tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So throughout this month, I started with my group, my inner circle, for those that are on board, and we're actually looking at gut health, because gut health can be one of those fundamentals to the health of the rest of our body. We know about the gut-brain connection. We know how stress affects the gut, but we also know how all the microbes and bacteria that live inside us can influence so many diseases in our body, including the disease of Alzheimer's disease. So begin to think about it today. What steps are you taking? I would love for you to share below what you may be doing that's really been a game changer in your life, that's switched you out of the mode of sickness and disease, and it's turned you into the captain of your ship. It's turned you into someone that's taking back the reins of control of your health, and that you're living now in a state of creation and not just in this state of survival and automatic pilot. So share below. And again, if you need help or support on your journey, come and join us at the Inner Circle. We meet every Tuesday from 12 to 1 o'clock online via Zoom. It's a lot of fun, and you're able to get support from me directly and also in a group of my like-minded individuals. Because as we know on this journey, it's about the experiences day to day, and it's about the people that we surround ourselves with. So I hope this has been helpful. Remember, you are priceless. You're not worth just $1 million. Your health is worth much more than that. Hope you have a good Friday and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now.